And we're back. That was quick for a brief intermission. I'll be willing to bet you that right there, that little chemtrail, that little line, that little puff of poison, I bet you it came from that object that was flying in the sky over in that direction. I'll bet you any money it was. It's incredible. Doing another little 15-minute segment of this, and I guess I may just call it a night for this one. Oh, looky here. Do I have it in sight? Where are you? Yeah, there it is. Really, FAA? You want to see these in normal flight patterns? Really? I don't know who you're fooling. Over the course of the last 3 months, I've taken these flight patterns, I've clocked these flight patterns, timed them, coordinates, directions, took it, used it as an overlay template for traditional commercial and passenger airliners over Lafayette, New Orleans, and Baton Rouge, laid it over it, and these are not scheduled flights. These are not scheduled flights, folks. The comparison with the amount of air traffic from the government versus civilian and commercial, I would probably say the amount of air traffic is 5 to 1, 6 to 1 maybe. Hell, it could be 10 to 1. The amount of planes that are in the sky at this time of night. I actually have still photos where I've counted 20 planes facing west of Baton Rouge one evening, several months back, spraying all different directions. Oh, where'd he go? He disappeared. Unless he went behind that little cloud up there. None of this is natural. None of it. Absolutely none of this is natural. You got your chem clouds, you got your chem dumps, you got your chemtrails, you got this haze, this chem canopy. I mean, the amounts of aluminum, just aluminum alone, that is being expelled and dropped as we speak right now. The nanoparticles of aluminum that's coming down out of these things into our lungs, weakening our immune system, destroying the pH level balance of soil. And you wonder why Monsanto, above and beyond everything else, wanted a monopoly on crops. Gee, I wonder why. Now, I may sound like a conspiracy theorist when I say this, but with all the chemtrails and everything that are being sprayed, ruining the pH level of soil, sure, why not come up with a genetically modified plant or vegetable to counteract the poisons that are in normal soil? Why not? It's just a theory. I mean, I know there's probably other reasons behind it. I'm probably sure that I'm going to get a lot of comments and ridicule on it. But hey, I'm just attempting to put 2 and 2 together and come up with 4. Okay? That's all I'm doing. I'm out here doing my part on a day-to-day basis, reporting this. Photos, video, documentaries, commentaries, whatever it is whatever you want to call it. It's maddening. Yeah, go ahead and combat global warming with this. At the same time, kill people off, increase Alzheimer's, autism, weaken the human immune system, destroy the pH level of soil. Yeah, sure. I can see how Monsanto could make money off of that. But I'm pretty sure there were probably other bigger agendas and things like that behind it, but it just kind of makes sense. If it doesn't, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. If I'm wrong with something, let me know. I'm only 4 years into this. There's still a lot that I have to learn. If there's somebody out there that has more information than I have that wants to share, go for it. I'm open for constructive criticism. I'm only just stating, I guess, the obvious and doing my damnedest to try to document as much of this as I can before it gets to the point where we can't even do this anymore. Pretty soon, what I'm doing right now, you're going to have satellites up there looking, well, they probably already have satellites looking down on me right now doing this. It'll probably just get to the point where triangulate my position, and next thing I know, suits are coming asking me, what am I doing looking up at the sky? And it's probably not too far from the truth, and it's probably not too far from actually happening. Considering our First Amendment right, Second Amendment rights have been trampled on and laughed at and attempted to almost be completely destroyed. Echelon system can kiss my ass. I know it's hearing me. See this government? It's a big middle finger right at you. Your dirty deeds will be exposed. They are being exposed. And as soon as we can get enough people to stop this, that's going to be one glorious day. These atrocities must and will stop. And just like everything else, this will pass. And we will be victorious over this, one way or another. This is a mess. Man. Now guys, after this video, I'm calling it a night. I take my happy ass inside and take some antihistamines or sinus blockers or whatever it is to counteract all this crap that they're spraying in the sky. Wind up starting walking around with a white mask eventually. We're going to wind up getting to the point where this crap's going to get so thick that we're going to have no choice but to walk around with white masks. Just like when that SARS epidemic broke out. Everybody was walking around with a white mask. Yeah, I can see it happening. I talk about combating global warming. My God, we're like the 4th, 5th day into summer. It was 105 degrees today in the shade. And it's the 27th of June of 2003. Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing. Looks like something, perhaps, almost looks like something crashed into the atmosphere. Or it looks like a chem dump that came hurling in and is breaking through the atmosphere. Oh my goodness, look at this. Is that not the craziest thing? Wow. I can say this, with all of these sprays and dumps and everything else that's going on, you get some really weird cloud patterns. Hybrid clouds. I would love to know what the chemical composition of the hybrid clouds are. It's actually very easy. Now, also correct me if I'm wrong on this as well. I haven't done too much research on it, but I found that when you have these hybrid clouds that start to form, bubble up, they have they look like your standard cumulus clouds, I guess the white puffy ones. I guess those would be cumulus. And as you normally see thunderheads and cumulus clouds building up in the distance from different hot and cold pressures or wind currents colliding with one another, they basically hold their form. They keep their shape. But what I've been noticing with the hybrid clouds pretty much have the same attributes as the cumulus. I believe I'm saying that right. The cumulus clouds. But when they flare up and they bubble out from the reactions, the edges of the cloud have a tendency to deteriorate and have the texture of cotton candy, or the appearance of cotton candy. They're not entirely stable. So if you look up and you see a bunch of clouds bubbling up in the distance at a rapid speed, or a thunderhead that's starting to form for, of course, a storm, look at the formation of it. If it holds its character, right now it would be safe to say that it's a normal cloud, not a hybrid. Hybrids are not entirely stable right now, because like I said, once they mature and they finally break out, they start to deteriorate with the cotton candy effect on the outer edges of it, and they have a tendency to separate and feather apart. So now I'm pretty sure they're probably perfecting that defect in the clouds, or the hybrids. This is wicked. This is really wicked. Wow, can't believe I'm actually going to have to do a little bit more research on cloud formation. There's like 4 or 5 different types of cloud covers, and I can't believe their names are eluding me right now. Now, that feathering that you see right there at the edge of, oh wow, it looks like a heart with an arrow drawn through it. Interesting. But as you see the feathering and the cotton candy effect on the edge of this one, this is what you would be looking for on a hybrid cloud. Right now, that is just, it's not necessarily, oh wow, is that Mr. Plane with no, am I catching that? I think I might be catching that. Yeah, that plane distracted me. I think I might be catching it. But anyway, as I'm attempting to catch this plane flying over, the cotton candy effect that you see on this is basically what you want to look for in a hybrid cloud that's unstable. Well, looks like I'm going to have to go to part 3. Hold tight, guys.